Hey everyone, welcome back to my chan. When Lee Min-ho speaks, people listen. Every word, every pause, every half-smile tends to be examined under a microscope, especially when his name is mentioned alongside Kim Go Eun. So when fans began to notice what many now call an accidental reveal about Kim Go Eun's dream wedding, it didn't take long for the internet to spiral into speculation, excitement, and quiet disbelief. It didn't happen during a flashy press conference or a carefully scripted interview. In fact, that's exactly why it felt so real. Lee Min-ho was relaxed, conversational, and visibly comfortable when the moment happened. There was no dramatic build-up, no headline-hunting question. Just a casual exchange that, in hindsight, revealed far more than it probably intended to. The conversation itself seemed harmless at first. Lee Min-ho was reflecting on life, maturity, and how his perspective has changed over the years. He spoke about relationships in general terms, about how love becomes quieter and more intentional with time. Then came a line that fans immediately replayed, slowed down, and dissected frame by frame. He mentioned a wedding scenario that felt oddly specific, describing something intimate, simple, and deeply personal rather than glamorous or extravagant. What caught fans off guard wasn't just the detail, but how closely it aligned with things Kim Go Eun has said in the past. Longtime fans quickly connected the dots. Kim Go Eun has always been known for her grounded personality. In previous interviews, she has spoken about valuing sincerity over spectacle, about preferring meaningful moments to grand displays. She once mentioned that if she were to imagine her ideal wedding, it wouldn't be about luxury or attention, but about comfort, warmth, and being surrounded by the right people. So when Lee Min-ho casually described a wedding vision that mirrored those exact sentiments, fans couldn't help but wonder how he knew. This wasn't vague. This wasn't a generic statement anyone could make. It sounded personal, informed, and almost familiar. That's where the phrase, accidentally reveals, started circulating online. Because the more fans listened, the more it sounded like Lee Min-ho wasn't speculating at all. He was recalling something. The tone of his voice didn't suggest imagination. It suggested memory. What made the moment even more intriguing was his reaction immediately afterward. There was a brief pause, a subtle shift in expression, the kind that only happens when someone realizes they may have said a little too much. He quickly redirected the conversation, but by then, it was already too late. Fans had clipped the video, translated it into multiple languages, and shared it across platforms within hours. And the comments all echoed the same question. How would he know this? For many, this moment felt different from typical celebrity rumors. There was no paparazzi footage, no dramatic claims, no anonymous sources. Just a single, unscripted moment that felt human in a way that public figures rarely allow themselves to be. Fans began revisiting old interactions between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go Eun, especially from their time working together. People noticed how often their conversations drifted toward personal values rather than surface-level topics. They weren't just co-stars promoting a project. There was ease there, familiarity, a sense of shared understanding that doesn't come from rehearsed answers. The wedding comments seemed to fit seamlessly into that pattern. Some fans pointed out that Lee Min-ho has always been careful with his words, especially when it comes to personal matters. That's why this slip, if it truly was one, feels so significant. It wasn't loud. It wasn't intentional. It was quiet, almost unguarded. Others noticed how Kim Go Eun's recent interviews seemed to echo a similar emotional wavelength. Around the same time this clip resurfaced, she spoke about finding happiness in simplicity, about imagining a future that feels calm rather than chaotic. She didn't mention marriage directly, but the themes felt aligned. As if two people were speaking the same language without ever referencing each other by name. For fans who believe in subtlety, this was more convincing than any official confirmation could be. Of course, there were also voices urging caution. Some argued that the connection might be coincidental, that Lee Min-ho was simply describing a general idea of what many people consider a meaningful wedding. And that's a fair perspective. Not every emotional overlap is a hidden message. But even those who remained skeptical admitted one thing. The moment felt real. It didn't feel like fan service. It didn't feel strategic. It felt like someone momentarily forgetting the invisible line between public and private. That's why fans can't stop talking about it. In the world of celebrity news, where so much is curated and controlled, authenticity stands out. And this moment, accidental or not, carried a kind of authenticity that can't be manufactured. It also reframed how fans view Lee Min-ho and Kim Go Eun's dynamic. Instead of focusing on dramatic gestures or overt affection, attention shifted to something quieter. Shared values. Mutual understanding. The kind of connection that doesn't need to be explained. Some fans even said the moment changed how they see Lee Min-ho entirely. Rather than the polished global star, he came across as someone thoughtful, introspective, and emotionally present. Someone who listens. Someone who remembers. And if that memory happened to align perfectly with Kim Go Eun's long-expressed ideals, well, that only deepened the intrigue. The internet, as expected, ran with theories. Some suggested the two had discussed their future ideals during late-night conversations while working together. Others believed the comment reflected a bond that has simply never been acknowledged publicly. And some preferred to see it as a beautiful coincidence, proof that two like-minded people can exist in the same emotional space without necessarily being romantically involved. No matter which interpretation fans chose, the conversation itself became the story. Because at its core, this wasn't about confirming a relationship or predicting a wedding. It was about noticing a moment of honesty in an industry built on performance. It was about recognizing how deeply people pay attention when they feel emotionally invested in the individuals they admire. And perhaps that's the most powerful part of this entire situation. Lee Min-ho didn't announce anything. Kim Go Eun didn't respond. There were no statements, no clarifications, no denials. The silence that followed only added to the weight of the moment, allowing fans to sit with it, interpret it, and feel it in their own way. Sometimes, the most memorable clues are the ones that aren't meant to be clues at all. And sometimes, a single sentence, spoken casually, can open an entire conversation about connection, trust, and what people truly want when the cameras are off. Whether this was an accidental reveal or simply a shared philosophy expressed at the wrong time, one thing is certain. Fans heard it. They felt it. And they're not ready to let it go. Because in that brief moment, Lee Min-ho didn't sound like a star answering a question. He sounded like someone who knew exactly what he was talking about. And that's why fans can't stop talking.